Uh, alright, now, Silent Night, Deadly Night, Foe. Initiation, aka we had this script and we'll just call it Silent Night, Deadly Night 4. This movie has nothing to do with the first four. The only thing we have to connect is that Clint Howard's character in this film is named Ricky, and I don't think it's the same Ricky. I think that they had the script called Initiation, and they said, hey, let's make another Silent Night, Deadly Night movie with this. We can base it around Christmas. We'll just find a character in the script and call it Ricky, and it's the homeless guy played by Clint Howard, whose name is Ricky. So I knew what I was getting myself into when I was reviewing these. These movies are notoriously bad. I like the first two fine. Eric Freeman's, the first one was cheesy enough. Eric Freeman's performance in the second one made it worth it. And then last night, watching the third one, it was boring as all hell and nearly falling asleep. This one, well, it's got a couple things going for it. One is Brian Usna. Who you don't know, he was a producer on Reanimator and directed the 2 Reanimator sequels. He also directed another film called Society, which I already did a review for. Check that out on the channel. And he directed the 2 Dentist movies, which I already did on the channel as well. So check those out. So he's got a lot, going for him. I like Society. I liked the Dentist movies fine. First one over the second one, obviously, but and the Reanimator movies I enjoyed too. So I was going into this, I was like, it's good. You got Brian Usna, you got Screaming Mad George doing the effects, and for the most part, the effects are fantastic. Better than the last one. I didn't mention this in my last review, but all the kills in the first film were cutaways, or in the previous film, in the third film, were cutaways. And there's even one where they killed the nurse and there was ketchup scores. But this one has actual effects. They had a little more of a budget in this one. They had actual effects. Screaming Mad George put on the effects, giant bugs and stuff. And the effects were pretty good. Maybe when Ricky is stabbed and you don't really see Hank's death, but yeah, for the most part, the effects are pretty good. So what is the story here? The story follows a woman named Kim, played by Neith Hunter. She wants to do a story about this woman that spontaneously combusted and fell off a roof. And, before I continue, this is a feminist movie. It's not so many words, but it's very feminist. The villains in this are a female cult. Kim wants to, impress her male co-workers. She wants to have the story over her male co-workers because they don't, and unlike what Disney is shoving down our throats nowadays, I think this one is pretty well done. It's not, she's not outgoing saying, hey, men suck and I deserve the job because I'm a woman and women are better. No, she wants to prove that a woman can do just as well as men can. She wants to be equal. She's not like Disney's propaganda nowadays. I know, hey, I'm supposed to be talking about Disney, but it's not like the propaganda in movies nowadays where we have to say that women are better than men. Fuck men. But here, she just wants to be equal. That's how you do it. Equality. The villains, not so much. The villains are more like the propaganda stuff that they think men are stuck up pigs that don't care, and when you think about the character of Hank in this film, he is sort of a sex hog, a sex dog, he just kind of wants to get in bed with Kim, but he does sort of lighten up midway towards the film when he actually does stand up for Kim and gets her the story. We have Reggie Bannister in here, and he's not used nearly as much as he should be. He just sort of there. He plays her boss. He plays Kim's boss. and he's just sort of there. He has a couple scenes, and that's about it. The villain in this is played by Maud Adams. That's right, Octopussy from James Bond. And she's fantastic. I think she does a good job. And we got Clint Howard, who I think is the best thing in this film because, hey, it's Clint Howard. He does a great job being Ricky, the freaky homeless guy. We have a couple quips about the plot of this film. So the plot consists of Kim wanting to do this story, and as she's investigating, she comes across, Maud Adams and all this stuff. But my biggest problem with Kim is that she's fucking stupid. Alright? So, the first thing that happens is that she gets this little date, the little date fruit thing, from Maud Adams. She eats it, and a little while later she starts to feel sick. She then proceeds to later find her way to Maud Adams' house, where Maud Adams, Fema is her name, Fema offers her tea, and she drinks it. After the last thing she gave you made you sick, why would you? Why would you then drink something that she gives you? And once again, she is drugged, and it causes all this stuff to go on, and then, she keeps going back to them. By this point, though, once the drug is taken, I think she's in some kind of hypnotic trance thing, because then she goes back to her place, which is full of bugs. But she goes back to her place. Hank is there, because he's got a key. And then Ricky shows up, and we don't see it, but Ricky kills Hank. Then we get the reveal, which is sort of hinted at earlier in the film. She's got this friend named Janice. And it's revealed that Janice is part of this coven, which to me made me scratch my chin and going, why would they do that? After Hank's death, she needs an ally. And all she ends up getting is a little boy, Hank's little brother, played by Conan Usna, the son of Brian Usna, the director. But he, okay, so it's hinted at earlier when Hank shows up at this picnic that they're having, which is another thing. She consumes something from there, and that's fucking stupid. But he shows up, and she asks how he knew she was there, and then he says that Janice told him. And she asked Janice, how'd you know where I was? And she doesn't, she's like, oh, you told me. And she can't remember telling him. And that's kind of a hint, she works with them, she knows. But the thing is, Janice just fucking disappears. So she shows up, and it looks like Ricky's gonna stab her, but she grabs the blade, and she goes, what are you doing? And, it's revealed that she's a part of it. And then she's there during this weird thing where Clint Howard, has a fucking dildo on his head or something. I don't know. And then she's just gone. And then there's this thing on the roof where she's supposed to get Lonnie, that's the little brother, bring him. And if she doesn't, she's going to start on fire like the other girl, who's revealed to be Fema's daughter. Now, I'm not sure if that was really her daughter, because she calls Kim her daughter too. So we're never really, if that's really her daughter or not. But then they get Lonnie up there. She turns on Maud Adams, Fema, and kills her. Ricky gets between her and Kim to protect Kim, and he ends up dead, getting eaten by fucking bugs. And Lonnie is saved, but then Kim starts to go all weird and set on fire, and she stabs Fema, and Fema gets set on fire somehow. But Janice isn't even there. So you gotta think after this, they look at her like she's the new leader or something, I don't know. But you think after this, she's gotta call the cops. I don't know how she can prove it, because it was up. That's another thing. So Janice says, I'll clean up here to Ricky, and you get rid of her. And, when Kim comes home with the cops, her entire apartment is clean. But Janice got from Kim's apartment to the place where they were doing this weird ritual thing so quickly, there's no way she could have cleaned up that fast. Unless they have a enormous amount of people in this coven. Ultimately, this film Well, it's Brian Usna, and it is very freaky. It's probably the lesser of the Brian Usna films that I've seen. Probably at the bottom of the ones that I've seen. And as it goes for the Silent Night, Deadly Night movies, I'm gonna have to give it a 5. I think it's in the middle. It's better than the last one. It's not as boring. A lot of stuff happens, but it's still not good. So what are your thoughts on Silent Night, Deadly Night? What are your thoughts on Silent Night, Deadly Night? What are your thoughts on Silent Night, Deadly Night Foe Initiation? Let me know in the comments below. Make sure to like, share, and subscribe. Thank you for watching. I've been Scotty. See you in the next one.